You are telling the truth with that. Well, we have a forewarned weather alert to bring you on this Monday morning, gearing you up for a new work week, but it's going to be a toasty start. We end the week on a much different note, and so high heat and humidity today and even into tomorrow. But for today, heat advisory was issued, and that's why we have that alert in effect. So advisory will go into effect for southeastern Michigan at 10 a.m., and that is set to lift at 10 o'clock this evening for all of southeastern Michigan. So when you have high humidity, that sweat evaporation slows down. Your body sweats is a natural way to cool it off, but when there's a lot of moisture in the air in the form of humidity, it does not cool you off. In fact, it makes you even more uncomfortable. So heat exhaustion will definitely be elevated, the risk for it, that is, for today. And so some safety tips when we're talking about the heat and humidity: never leave pets, kids inside a parked vehicle, and that goes for any day of the year. But drink plenty of water. Don't wait until you're thirsty. You want to stay hydrated. Reduce those strenuous activities outside today. And if you do have to be outside, find shade regularly or take breaks in the air conditioning and wear lightweight, light-colored clothing, because we will be pairing it with some sunshine for today. Temperatures are on either side of 70 to start your morning. We've had a few 60s on the board, including Ann Arbor, Lapeer, Port Huron, but the bulk of the metro area waking up in the low 70s. I will put Exact Track 4D on. Some of this is just what we call kind of ground clutter, that moisture from the humidity, but I'm not ruling out maybe a little sprinkle down towards Monroe. But most of that activity is well west of here. And so that is a storm system that's pushing through Iowa into portions of Illinois, has that southeasterly motion. So we pretty much dodged that today. But in the heat and humidity, you can't rule out a pop-up isolated storm. So the forewarned weather alert is due to the temperatures mainly, and that's 93 degrees for the afternoon high and feeling like 100 with the heat index. I'll stop the clock with this feels like forecast at 5. Most of us are right around that 100-degree mark. Come tomorrow, we're back in the low 90s, and we could feel like we're right around 100. But you see how that heat index starts to drop over here on the far east side? That's because we are anticipating a few showers and storms. And if we were to get some of those to be a little more abundant in the heat of the day, then that's going to lower those heat indices and high temperatures. So the National Weather Service hasn't extended that into tomorrow quite yet. Cold front up to our northwest, that will bring us a cooler, drier air mass for the second portion of the week. But in the meantime, let's talk more about what is on tap this evening. I think those pop-up chances are a little bit more prominent off to the west. We're talking Lansing or so, and then by tomorrow, we do have a few more of those storm chances working their way in as we head into the heat of the day. So Comerica Park tonight, it's going to be a hot one at the ballpark. First pitch 6:40, that's against the Diamondbacks, and plan for it to be hot and steamy. There's just that slight pop-up chance, but overall just a warm and muggy pattern. Better chance for a little bit more widespread rain and storms on Wednesday with that cold front, and then we feel the difference. Thursday, Friday, highs fall below average into the upper 70s. We'll be soaring with those temperatures as the day goes on, getting into the low 90s, feeling like 100, making it a great pool day. If you can be by the water, that's what you want to do today. Otherwise, you want to limit your time outside, and especially the strenuous activities. And so that's a look at your daily forecast. But we do have that heat advisory for all of southeastern Michigan until 10 o'clock this evening. That's why we've issued that forewarned weather alert. Here's a quick look at what those forecasted highs are compared to the feels-like temperatures. Feeling almost 10 degrees warmer than what the thermometer is going to say, but we have a cool down in sight. We'll be falling into the 70s by the end of the week. We'll time out some rain chances for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, time now to break down the weather for the final days of July, which I can't wait to see your update on the entire month and where we fell in history in terms of being one of the hottest Julys.
It was toasty.
I know.
We've had several 90-degree days, and yeah, here we are again. We're going to be adding to those totals. And so 90s in the forecast today, possibly again tomorrow, but with the humidity, that's why we have a forewarned weather alert for today, because we do have a heat advisory draping southeastern Michigan. So you add that moisture in the air, and it's going to feel like we are in the triple digits. So heat advisory 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. today. We're kind of just waiting to see if the National Weather Service will extend this into Tuesday, because there's a lot of uncertainty with how storm potential tomorrow could impact those temperatures in the heat of the day. But let's focus on today first. Humidity and sweat, well, that could lead to heat exhaustion, because when you have the high humidity out there, which we will for today, that sweat evaporation slows down. So as opposed to sweat just naturally cooling off your body, you're going to continuously feel uncomfortable because of the moisture in the air. So you want to drink plenty of water. Don't wait until you get thirsty. stay hydrated throughout the day. Never leave pets and kids inside a parked vehicle. And I don't have to tell you that that's really a rule that should be year round. Now, reduce strenuous activities outside, find shade if you have to be outside, or take breaks in air conditioning, and wear that lightweight, loose fitting and light colored clothing today, because the sun will be beaming down on you throughout a good chunk of the day, which will make you feel even warmer. So temperatures right now are in the 70s across much of southeastern Michigan. We have a couple stragglers, which includes Flint at 69 and 67 in Ann Arbor. But for today, by 1 o'clock this afternoon, we're already right around 90 and then 93 for that forecasted high, with more sun than clouds and just an isolated pop-up chance. And so we'll first talk temperatures before we talk about shower and storm potential. This afternoon, we hit that peak heat index right around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and tomorrow is almost a repeat performance. The difference is, I want to point this out right here. Model data dropping those heat indices up into the thumb towards Port Huron drastically tomorrow. And that's because this model is picking up showers and storms at that point. And that is why we don't see a heat advisory come tomorrow, because of the uncertainty on how the rain could impact those temperatures. But if we dodge the rain, then it's going to feel much like today. So clouds and radar, at least our forecast, picking up most of those pop-ups to our west for today. Better chance for them to work across southeastern Michigan tomorrow. And you see them here. It's still very hit or miss, but that will bring you a brief cool down, and then we will have a better chance for cooler conditions with a cold front as we go through midweek. But for today, it's going to be sweltering at Comerica Park. If you have tickets to the Tigers and Diamondbacks game, say that 10 times fast. Your first pitch is at 6:40 and will be right around 90 degrees, falling into the 80s later on today, as it'll be warm and muggy by game's end. That cold front I was talking about come Wednesday down to our south, but it will pull in all that moisture and cooler air, so we have shower and storm activity off and on for your Wednesday. And then the bulk of that rain should stay right along the state line, if not south, come Thursday, but I'll keep a slight chance for some showers on Thursday into our southern communities. Otherwise, we're drying out and a cooler air mass building in, upper 70s for your Thursday and Friday, and then seasonal low 80s with sunshine come Saturday and Sunday.
Sounds like